Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Season 3 Episode 15, The Noxious Avenger. First off, I gotta say I love the title for this episode because it's a reference to, I believe it was like 3 or maybe 4 films, The Toxic Avenger is just like sort of a B-movie, campy. It was kind of like the story of this actual episode where it was like a hero that saved people and stuff, but he looked kind of grotesque and things like that. I remember watching like a long time ago on G4, but those are some pretty cool movies that you can check out. But I like this episode. I thought it was pretty cool that we actually got, not only did we get a character that was really, really powerful in this episode, although he really only fought against the turtles and it wasn't like, a grand scale type of thing. He was, Mukman was a really powerful character in this episode, but not only was he really strong and whatever is going on with his molecular structure really affects other mutants, but he's like the first mutant to really be out there. Like, he was on TV and stuff, and he helped protect the turtles at the end. But he's on TV, he's like a local hero and stuff, and it's like, hey, it's, Mukman, he's like a hero, he's like the freaky hero who saves the day and all this stuff. And I thought that was cool. It's like, it was nice that they're kind of adding in those concepts, like those ideas, which kind of, come up a lot more later, throughout the Ninja Turtle storyline. So it was really cool to get like that first introduction where it's like, here's a mutant, and they pick like probably like the grossest mutant they've done. This was like, I think the second worst mutant that they animated, like they did full on, was when they were at the barn, and it was the one that had like the head that like split open and stuff, and it looked really gross. Mukman became the #1 grossest mutant in this episode. Like when he first, excuse me, when he first forms and they show like his spine on the inside, that was really the gross part for me. It was like they actually had like, he was almost part skeleton. If there wasn't like gook and goo, it basically just looked like goo, frozen in place. But if it wasn't that, like his entire arm, or like maybe up to like his elbow, it was like straight up bone, and like even his face you could like partly see skeleton and stuff. And so he has like a hole in the middle of his stomach where you just see his spine and it's broken, and like his bottom couple of ribs, and it just looked really gross. Like they had some other stuff in there, it was like a little ketchup thing, and that wasn't too gross or anything, but it was really like, he was almost completely melted. That's how, it's kind of how they made it look. And so it just, every time I saw him, it just looked kind of gross, and he had just bones showing, in some pretty prominent locations, so it was hard to miss. And then of course he has an eye that pops out of his head. When it first happened, it was kind of gross, and then the second time it happened, when he was like reading the newspaper and the eye kind of just shot right out of his head, it looked a little nasty to me. But I like the way they did it. It shows that they kind of take it to like some serious heights sometimes, where they just do great detail, and it's so great that it kind of looks gross when they do it. So I definitely appreciate it. It definitely, like I said, when I first saw it, though, was like, that's kind of gross. Like seeing, like actually being able to see the spine and it's like broken and stuff just really freaked me out for some reason. The skeleton arm thing, not so much, but it was like, for some reason, like seeing the spine actually broken and he's, just walking around and stuff, it just, it made it really weird for me. I don't know why that was the thing, but it was really cool. And he has like the crazy, like basically he can just make tornadoes. He has like crazy tornado powers, and then the crazy Mukman vomit that he does pretty much destroyed the turtles. It like kind of made them sick. It gave them all like red eyes and stuff. Like just dirt and nasty stuff was in their body, and it really messed with them. So I thought that was kind of cool. They didn't touch on it too much. It was just like a little nod, like, hey, his whatever he was mixed with when he changed because of the mutagen really affects our body. And it's probably just the fact that it's gross trash. It's a bunch of trash and germs and dirt and things like that. So all of that combined in with mutagen, it just makes it worse. So that's probably what it was. It was just, a simple answer, like it's just trash, like it's trash and it's nasty and dirty. So that was it. But I definitely loved it. I really enjoyed getting to see Bebop and Rocksteady in this one. That was really cool because they were really the big focus. We actually didn't see like anyone. We saw Stockman for like one scene, and he didn't even say anything. He was just buzzing and doing something on on his computer. But really, it was Bebop and Rocksteady trying to basically complete the mission that they failed the first time, and it was cool. I love seeing those characters. They are the new mutants, and they are also at the same time the classic mutants that I think everyone's been waiting for since the beginning. We pretty much got like everyone else before these two characters, so now that we have them, we have Bebop and Rocksteady finally in this version of the Turtles, all the way through up until now, season 3. And they're giving them some good episodes. They've only had like a couple so far, but they've only really been in like 5 episodes when you think about it. And with 2 of them being mainly focused on Bebop and Rocksteady as a team, I think that's kind of cool. So I definitely love seeing them and them just being silly as a team. Like, it's just really funny the way they both speak. Like, Bebop is just really silly, and Rocksteady is like very serious, but he always says the phrases wrong because he's not American, so he says these phrases and he makes them kind of literal, or he just completely screws them up, like with the booby trap stuff. He's like, we have to be careful because there's probably a boobish trap. So I like their dialogue. I love the chemistry that the characters have because they do bounce off of each other, with Rocksteady, of course, being the really serious one, but it's still really funny listening to him be serious because he'll screw up all these phrases or say them. It would be like, pedal to the metal. He was like, we'll have to put the pedal to the metal or something like that. He just makes them longer than they need to be. And it's kind of funny just listening to him do that. And then Bebop is just like hilarious and just silly and all over the place. So you never really know out of him. But I definitely loved it. I thought it was a fun episode. The Turtles getting grounded was definitely funny, and that led to some cool stuff with Splinter. And when like, I think every scene with them being in trouble for being grounded was hilarious, because the stuff with them in their room, and Mikey was like, the only cure for Mukman fever is Grabnar, and then Splinter just like shoots the door open, and you can barely make out any details except for his eyes. It's almost a complete silhouette. I think you could sort of see the bottom of his robe, and that was it, and just like white eyes, and it's just like, and then he just takes the TV and the tapes, and then when they sneak out. And I loved how they did that. And they're all doing the little thing. Like, Raph is like doing push-ups and everyone's just doing little stuff. And then he's like this, and we see them. And then he turns this way and looks back. And they're in like completely new locations. I thought that was just really funny. And at the end, he just like completely beat them up. And then April trying to escape. And they just ended on that where he's like really mad at her. And she just freaks out. I thought it was just really funny. So I definitely enjoyed that. Because we don't really see the Turtles get in trouble that much. It's like sometimes they do, mostly, Raph and Leo most likely, if they're arguing with each other or kind of splitting the team apart because Raph wants to do one thing, Leo wants to do another, and that's just their characters, that's what they do. Other than that, they don't really get in trouble, and we haven't seen it for a long time for sure, because they haven't really had a normal, at-home situation for quite some time in the series. So I definitely love I can't really say throwback, but just another moment of them being a typical family where Splinter grounds his kids for screwing up. Although I do think he was a little bit too mad at them for messing up. It was like, I know they have like the secrecy and all that stuff, but I think he was a little too mad too, like how Raph was saying. They just got hit with something that really took them out. He was too powerful to beat, and that's the only reason it happened. The slime kind of just slowed him down, but love the episode. I'm excited for the next one. It's going to have Shredder in it and everybody, it seems. So that should definitely be pretty cool. And the characters having some cool fight scenes. I'm assuming with Shredder actually being in it, we're going to get at least a little bit of advancement on his plot. Because the whole thing for this episode was Bebop and Rocksteady were looking for the next step to do the whole mind control on Karai and the rest of the city. But nothing really happened in this episode. They just failed, and it was really about Mukman, and that was pretty much it. So it was almost like a filler episode, and that was just how it started, with something from the main storyline, and it kind of just led into the Turtles getting beat up and Bebop and Rocksteady constantly losing. So I'm assuming in the next one we'll actually get some pretty big advancements for that part of the story. We might even get to see Karai again, and things might change a little bit for her. Like, I know she's losing her mental grip on being able to change back and forth, so maybe we'll get to see a little bit of that and how far she's gone in these past couple episodes where we haven't seen her, and maybe we'll get a little hint as to what her reference was, like what she told, I believe it was Leo, and she mentioned like the moon or something. I can't remember what her clue was, but maybe we'll get a little bit on that as well. But I'm definitely excited for it. Of course, I want to know what you guys thought about this episode, so please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts, and what you guys think of Mukman. I mean, I'm assuming he's from the comics. Maybe he's not. I don't really know anything from the comics. I know like a little bit of stuff here and there. I'm assuming he is, but whether he is or isn't, I think I definitely love the character. I like the reference. Like I said, it's the Noxious Avenger is a super clear reference to the Toxic Avenger, which they did for like the Big Trouble in Little China, which I didn't get that reference for that episode at all. It completely blew over my head because I never saw that movie. But I got this one as soon as I saw the title. But I want to know what you guys thought about it. So like I said, please comment below, let me know. And thanks for watching.